Hello children, in today's lesson we're going to be finding the difference between two numbers. Now finding the difference sounds a little bit tricky and sometimes it causes all sorts of problems in our math lesson, but actually it's quite easy and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So let's have a look at this question here. What is the difference between 26p and 21p? Now, I know that if I asked children in class, I'd get, there's more ones in 26 than there is in 21. We use different coins to make them. And in some ways, those would be right. But that's not what we're going to be looking at, because what the difference is between two numbers is a mathematical idea that really means, if I wrote them on a number line, how many jumps are there between those two numbers? So let's have a look at how I could find the difference between 26p and 21p. Well, I could do it in one of two ways. I could count on. So let's look at how we count on. To find the difference by counting on, I start with the smallest number, which in this case is 21. So I put that at the start of my number line, like that. And then I jump on my number line until I get to 26. So there's one jump, that gets me to 22p. There's another jump, that gets me to 23p. Another jump, that gets me to 24p. Another jump, that gets me to 25p. And another jump gets me to 26p. Now it's really important when you're drawing the jumps on your number line that you make sure your jumps touch the number. Otherwise we'll get confused. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So I've jumped on my number line from 21p up to 26p. I now need to count the jumps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 5 jumps. So the difference between 21p and 26p, or 26p and 21p, is 5p. Now, let me just show you what I mean by making sure that your jumps touch the number, because sometimes this can happen. We can write 21 and then we can write 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Oh, look, I've got lots of jumps here and they're not touching the numbers. And I could count, let me see, I've got to keep jumping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Far too many jumps. It's really important that you make sure that you jump carefully and that you write your number underneath the jump and it touches the jump. So let's have a look at the method of counting back on a number line. So remember, I'm finding the difference between 21p and 26p. I could frame that as a subtraction. So let's look at this as a subtraction. 26p take away 21p. And I do this exactly as I did my subtractions earlier in the week. I start with my number line and I put 26 at the end of my number line. I draw my number line and then I jump back until I get to 21. So 26p, one jump is 25p. Next jump gets me back down to 24p. Next jump gets me down to 23p. Next jump gets me down to 22p. And the next jump gets me down to 21p. Count my jumps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the difference between 26p and 21p is 5p. Again, I can't emphasize enough, children, how important it is to make sure that when you're jumping on your number line, your jumps touch the number. Can you see what I've done here? When I've been jumping back from 26p to 21p, I'm taking away 1p each time. If I go back to the activity earlier, when I was jumping up, I'm actually adding 1p each time. So I'm jumping in 1, so I'm either adding to count on, but starting not at 0, starting at the smallest number, or I'm jumping back. Now the easiest method to use, I think, is to always see or find the difference as a subtraction, but it doesn't really matter which method you use. In our activity today, you can choose which method you use. See which one you find the easiest. Can't wait to see what you do year 2. Enjoy the activity. See you soon. Bye.